welcome to the May 5th Happy Cinco de Mayo episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. Hope everybody's had a great week. If your weather's been anything like ours, neither here nor there. Out of 7 days, I think we've had five with rain. it's been uh, it's been a very moist month of May so far. Good morning, Tony. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good. Oh, very, very cold and wet. I've walked, like I said, I've walked to work um, 5 out of the last 7 mornings. Well, not counting today, 5 out of the last 6 mornings, and it's been anywhere between 40 degrees and 49 degrees, misting or raining, wind blowing. I'm surprised I've not got bronchitis. Well, yeah, bronchitis at the very least. I have to get to work, and I get the door unlocked, run in, shut the alarm off. There's been quite a few mornings I've had to go to the bathroom, get paper towel, and dry my face off, and you know, take off the light sweater that I wear to keep warm in there, and be in there in just a wet t-shirt because it's so bloody cold running in and out to the walk-ins. And yeah, it's been interesting. It's been interesting, to say the least. And today's no different, of course. It just hit what just hit 50 degrees. 50? Yeah, just hit 50 degrees. So I had to walk down to the gas station at 4:30 this morning to get cigars, get the wife a couple packs of cigarettes, and it was raining and it was windy and it was 46 degrees. I had to take trash down to the curb, trash day, raining, 50, 46 degrees. So yeah, it's I hope this weather gets better in the next 11 days, um, when I'll be camping, doing the security thing for the Niles Ren Fair. It's 48 here at the moment. Brr. I mean, I'm sitting here, in my, insulated shirt with my sweater on. My source of heat is the coffee. It's keeping me from frosting over, I think. Ugh. Yeah, like I said, I hope in the next 11 days, um, before I have to camp and do the security gig at the fair, that these temps, well, I mean, they're not really matter. I've got the clothes, I've got wool, I've got leather, I've got everything. I got fur, I got wool blankets. So, not to mention, not being able to get the Viking house built because we couldn't find a trailer for it, to transport it. I was actually building the fire pit on the inside of it, where you just pull a panel up and it exposes the ground underneath, and you can dig the fire pit straight down so it heat the inside of it. I'm actually doing a wooden lean-to, or a wedge shelter, and I'll be putting the fire right at the doorway. So I'm going to stay warm. It don't matter. They're saying that May is supposed to get warmer and dry. Now, we could only hope, Tony. We could only hope. I haven't found clothing that stops the damp part of it. I have found, and I don't know if you ever came to this conclusion when you were doing reenactments, but the tighter the weave on the wool, the more water resistant it is. I've got a couple of wool coats that I've been out in a torrential downpour in, and my clothes stay completely dry underneath. So, and the tunic that I'm going to be wearing will have it'll have like half fur sleeves on it from the shoulder to right below the elbow, and it'll have fur up around here and then down around the base. Um, I got to get sewing on that today too. 11 days. Whew. I've been putting it off and putting it off, and I can't put it off no longer. But yeah, it's a very very tight weave wool. So if it's anything like it has been in the past, and we've had a storm or something come in, I know I'm going to be dry. Um, if it's like a couple years have been, and we all of a sudden hit the 80s, I'm going to be dying to death. So either way, it's going to make for interesting footage. Um, I was much younger when reenacting. Oh, I went from what 40 some events a year to in the last decade, um, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8, and in the last couple years, none. So yeah, I kind of understand the younger thing. But anyway, like I said, guys and gals, it is Cinco de Mayo. I couldn't find, I have no clue where it's at. It's probably out in the kitchen somewhere because my daughter loves it. My Cinco de Mayo coffee mug with the Hispanic skull mask on it. She loves that bloody thing, so it's probably either in her room or out in the kitchen somewhere. I got to put like some kind of security system on this room to keep my stuff from disappearing. Uh, what do you do when your kid is so much like you she can't leave your coffee mugs? Well, I went out and bought her own coffee mug to make her hot chocolate and stuff in, and it was too plain. She didn't like it. So no problems with the platform this morning. I actually set this live stream up 2 days ago and had no problem getting it scheduled and set up. The platform didn't argue with me at all. It scheduled it, set it up, and no issues. So apparently, whatever was flubbing around the system got fixed. It says we got 6 people in here now. Tony is the only one talking. I'm going to make a couple of phone calls today and see if I can get a guest for next weekend. It's either going to be It's probably going to be like a Saturday or Sunday night. We're going to try to bring back Ghost to Ghost PM um, interviews, live stream interviews. If I can remind myself how to use StreamYard. It's been so long, I don't know if I remember or not. Good morning, yo, bunch of rogues and rapscallions. Good morning, Santee. Hope you're doing well this morning. Hope you got a little bit nicer weather out there in Arizona way than what we got up here in the Midwest, man. Man, this thing is just going off like crazy this morning. Been going off since 4:30. Good morning, Ty. Good to see you, bud. Yeah, we were just discussing the fact of how cold and wet it is up here. Has been since last week. This time, out of the 6 days that I worked in the last week, um, 5 days have been rainy and cold. It's raining this morning. I just didn't have to work. Raining and just hit 50 degrees. So, yeah. Hey, Ben. Good to see you. How you doing, my friend? Not cold and wet here. Well, you're lucky. You're lucky. Tony said it's just now hit 48 degrees there. It just not 10 minutes ago hit 50 here. I don't know if he's got rain or not, but like I said, out of 7 days, you know, now it's 6 days. Counting today has been below 50 degrees and raining when I get up, and usually, I'm out the door somewhere between 4:30 and 5:30, and it's been on average about 45 degrees, windy and rainy every day I've gone out. Something about them April showers bring May flowers. I'm calling bullshit on um, because May so far in 5 days I think has been as wet as April was, and I've not seen any Mayflowers yet. So I don't know. Go air, going good. No, it isn't raining, but it is damp. Yeah, it quit. It quit raining last night for what, about 40 minutes until I went to bed, and apparently rained through the night on and off. Because when I got up this morning and went out to feed the outside kitties, everything was soaked. They were nowhere to be found. They were hiding in the shed. So yeah, gotta love it. If we were out in the high desert right now, what we would have is a flash flood. We have flowers popping up in the yard. We don't. Now, I have seen some yards where, flowers people have planted have popped up, but yeah, no, large amounts of flowers like you normally see by Easter time. I remember when I was growing up, Mom had tulips planted all across the back of the house and everything out in the backyard. By Easter time, all those yellow tulips and pink tulips and stuff were all, you know, up and opened up and looking real pretty and stuff like that. The U.S. Farm Report says upper Midwest is supposed to turn dry and above average temps for May and early June, having me some Vegemite on toast for a snack. I don't plant flowers. I plant flowers and grow flowers and smoke flowers. Um, I bet they smell pretty. Around this area, the big thing right now is the morel mushrooms. Uh, I guess I guess they're popping up like crazy around here. I have been hearing stories. Um, we went Friday night. We went up to the brewery for her mom's 65th birthday, and I must have heard 4 or 5 guys just right there close by us talking about going out and morel hunting, and they're saying they're finding a buttload of mushrooms this year. So apparently that's our thing now. April showers bring May mushrooms or something. I don't know. It's I wish the hell I had a car and could go out mushroom hunting myself. We would save a buttload of money in a year if we farmed our own mushrooms. Beat the hell out of 2 packs for $6 up at the grocery store. Smell real pretty. Taste as well. I haven't heard or seen any mushrooms here yet. By the way, buttload is not a suggested way of storing morel mushrooms. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Many people hunting mushrooms, that is. Man, they're going crazy around here. Morels, the little white caps, chick of the woods, I mean, all kinds of mushrooms. I just seen a picture on Facebook the other day of some probably 5 or 6 year old holding a hen of the wood or a chick of the wood, and I mean that cluster was as big around as a trash can lid almost, and they're sitting there holding it, and you're like you're missing this whole part of their body. All you see is belly and head and a big cluster of mushrooms. We have some nice mushrooms grown by locals here in Adelaide. Wow. Not many people around here grow them. They just go out in the woods looking for them. Some mushroom hunters found a body of a kid my age my mom used to work for over at a park, public swimming pool. Oh, wow. But there are butt, and mushroom. I, I, yeah, not, yeah, not to be confused with button load. Last time I had mushroom, I made super supreme pizza with it. We do too. Her and I both love mushrooms on our pizzas. Um, we'll hand bread and fry our mushrooms. We saute them with onions for our burgers and stuff. We go, like I said, we go through a lot of mushrooms. We usually wait until they're on sale because just the little white mushrooms are 2 packages for $5 or morels 2 packages for 6. Um, But I was just talking to someone the other day who got like a 5 gallon bucket full of mushrooms for free. Only problem with mushrooms is they don't store well for long. So I don't understand the purpose of going out and getting shit tons of mushrooms when chances are most of them are going to go bad before you get a chance to use them unless you eat them every day, like we would, between burgers and salads and pizza, other sandwiches, deep frying them. I like to take just a whole mushroom, or else you just slice them in half through the cap and down through the stem and saute them up and just throw them on a plate as the vegetable of choice with our meals. So I don't know. We would probably use a 5 gallon bucket in about a month. And the question is, are they going to still be good in a month? Absolutely not. With just mushroom. I made a nice homemade regional pasta for my daughter the other night. It was wonderful. I bet it was. That's another thing we use mushroom is we'll do like a chicken and mushroom alfredo or something like that, or just do a mushroom alfredo. Um, Throw it in our spaghetti sauce for regular pasta. I ain't a huge fan of mushrooms, but I do like them with beef. Yeah, on those very, very, very rare occasions when we actually find like a steak on sale or something like that, um, I do the old, I don't know if you guys are familiar. Um, some of you here in the States maybe, Ben's probably not, but we used to have a place, used to find them everywhere, called Ponderosa Steakhouse. And they would do sirloin tips, and that was one of their main selling dishes. And they always had like big mushrooms and chunks of onion and stuff sauteed that came with the sirloin tips, just all mixed together on a big platter. And that's where I got my love of sauteing whole mushrooms. And like I said, a lot of times I make like a hamburger steak or something like that. I'll just saute whole mushrooms up and throw them on a plate with the hamburger steak. Pasta sauce is good with nachos. Tips are my favorite item from Ponderosa. Oh, mine too. Ever since I was knee high to a cricket, sirloin tips were always my favorite. Like I said, guys, 11 days until the Ren Fair. I'm still fighting to go up and get my 4-day check from the Indian restaurant. Um, Mysteriously, even though I clocked in and out every day, there's no record of me working there. So, and they never had me fill out tax forms or anything. So I'm going to go up there today and confront them and try not to try not to get arrested in the process. I hated mushrooms till sirloin tips. What are sirloin tips? the they would just basically take like a sirloin steak, beef steak, and they would cut it into pieces, yay big, and they would, fry it in the skillet with their secret combination of spices. Um, so you just basically you didn't have to cut your meat; it was already all cut up for you. Um, I have sirloin pork chops. See, I've never heard of a sirloin pork chop. To me, everything I've ever known about meat, sirloin is beef, not pork. So I don't know. Once again, different countries, different regions, different words mean different things, and blah blah blah. I think I have about 2 dozen DVDs to rip here. In the garage, I have about 2,000 done. You're coming along, man. You're coming along. Now let's just hope and pray that nothing happens to your computer. You've taken all this time to burn those DVDs on that computer. Let's just hope and pray this computer lives forever. Sirloin tips for the bottom of the sirloin cut of beef. It is backed up good. These pork loin chops in Australia. Nice, nice cut of pork. Yeah, we actually have pork loin here, and normally when I get a pork loin, when I cook it, if I don't leave the loin whole and split it down the center and put all my spices and everything in the split, I'll cut it into thick cut pork chops or loin chops. And then I'll either butterfly them or I'll put the slice in them, cut a pocket in them, and stuff them and bake them like that or cook them on the grill or whatever the case may be. I have 24 terabytes of space in 6 drives. Wow. It's also called sirloin. Oh, okay, I got you. The best cut of beef is ribeye, and it is a crappy cut. To look at it, I don't think I've ever had a ribeye. I don't know why. I just don't think I've ever had a ribeye. That reminds me, I have to start making a list of what food and stuff I'm going to take with me. Our a lot of days in our grocery store up here, in the manager specials, when they get around to it, they sell these small racks of ribs, and they're usually really cheap, like $4, $5, something like that. Sometimes cheaper. But I do want to take at least, or try to get my hands on at least one of those racks so I can just suspend it over the fire and let it turn on the chain while it's cooking. Take it off when it gets cooked on one side, flip it over, put the hook back through it, and just let it hang there. Um, they'll supply lunch on Saturday. I'm not going to worry about breakfast because I'm usually up and moving hours before anybody else is. So I like a rump steak or a T-bone. Oh yeah, definitely. There are similar fat meat blend. Ribeye is a nice cut as well. Ribeye has the best tasting fat. I don't know how my mom did it when we were growing up, but if I remember correctly, she would trim the big pieces of fat off the steaks, and after she got the steaks cooked, she'd fry up the fat, basically make it crunchies, and it was amazing. I don't know why the taste of meat has changed over the last 30 years, but it don't even taste the same anymore. I had to literally beat the hell out of ground beef the other day, and almost to the point of re-chopping it, re-grinding it. Um, and then I had to add, oh God, cayenne and salt and pepper and onion, and to even get close to a cheeseburger like mom used to make. I don't know what they do to it, but for some reason, it just don't taste the same, and it don't pack the same either. I uh, I was packing the ground beef in balls the other day to flatten them out and put them in the skillet, and the second you take it out of your hand, it just start falling apart again. I just don't get it. Out of all meats, I love chicken and gravy. It's not ground as well or fine, I should say. Oh, okay. Out of all meats, I love chicken and gravy. And that's one thing we're going to do this week. One of our local restaurant chains, um, one of our local breakfast restaurant chains, uh, showed a commercial last night for chicken and waffles, and got me and the wife both talking about making fried chicken and waffles. So, yeah, one day this week, it won't be tonight, but one day this week we're going to make chicken and waffles. I beg every week for her to make her fried chicken because it's the best thing around. It's better than Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's better than Church's Chicken. It's better than Popeye's Chicken. Definitely better than McDonald's Chicken. Um, I don't like chicken. I never have. That's kind of where I'm at because chicken is so. I mean, I don't want to say chicken's cheap because nothing's cheap, but it's so much cheaper than beef or pork. Um, we eat buttloads of chicken, and I've I'm just so burnt out on chicken. But for some reason, when she fries chicken, it's amazing. I will eat chicken, but it's not my first choice. Pork might be cheaper than chicken here. You're lucky if it is. I would give anything for just slices of ham. I don't care if I got to buy a yucky old uncured plain raw ham. I will sugar cure it or honey cure it myself and just slice it. I'd live on ham steaks. pork like roast. Ham is not cheap. I use pork and beef mince to make my pasta. Oh, wow. Ooh. I did a pork roast like beef last run, and it worked out really well. Yeah, see, for some reason, roasts around here, you're paying as much per pound for a roast as what you are for steak. I wanted a roast for Easter, just a little beef roast, with some potatoes, carrots, and onions, salt and pepper. Throw it in the oven, let it bake for a couple hours. And she went to Walmart, only place open when she got off work at 6 a.m. And she went and picked up a few things for the granddaughters, Easter baskets, and was looking at the meat, and she's roasts like $11 a pound. And the smallest roast they had was like 3 or 4 pounds, and she was not going to spend $30 or $40 or 33 to $44 for a piece of meat that was going to be gone in one day. Pork roast here is like $253 a pound. Once again, pork roast. I think she said they were $10 a pound. She wound up buying a pork loin. She found it for $5.55 a pound, and got like this little 3 pound pork loin and brought it home. Roast beef and pork were just unfrickin' godly expensive, even at Walmart. And they're supposed to they spout off about having the best meat prices around. I want to know where our roasts are coming from. Are they coming from China or Canada? Because the tariffs on that meat is absolutely incredible. Wasn't a good homemade sausage rolls. I wish I had a sausage stuffer around here. That's all I'd ever eat are bratwursts and sausages. That's cheap. You should check out the Aussie price of our roast beef, lamb, and pork. I think the last beef roast I bought was $7.50, $8. Busting bubbles. Not sure how much a pound here. Now I know it wasn't cheap a while back, so I didn't get one. Well, good morning, Bubbles. Good to see you. I don't think it's cheap anywhere. Uh, I don't. I can't believe. You know, they keep marking. They keep marking the price of food up, and they're not marking up people's hourly pay. So how long is it going to be uh, before people can't afford to eat? $7.58 a pound. Not a roast. Steak is 12. Oh, see, here that's cheap. You know, like I said, ground beef. A year ago, we were paying 279 to 350. for ground beef per pound. Now it's like I seen some in the manager's special last week, or the manager's bin, and it was 5.75 a pound for cheap ground beef, not for ground round or ground chuck, for cheap ground beef. Their ground round was six something, like 6.25 or something like that. We're getting ripped in Australia. We pay through the roof. Oh, I'm sure. Something I learned is that a good cut of steak made like a roast, you feed six with one steak. That's great flavor. We got half a cow coming this month. Well, that's cool. That's cool. That's something we wanted to do, was try to go in with some friends and just order a cow. And for what meat prices have gone up to, and then our local meat market shut down. They decided to sell the property that the meat market had been on for the last 40 years and relocate to another place, but no one's ever has seen them reopen a new location yet. So that's where we used to go to get our stuff, because everything was so affordable there. And no place else, that's for damn sure. Because I gotta pay for the. They got rid of the old deli in our Kohl's and Woolworths. Now we got fridges full of prepackaged crap. We don't have a deli at our place, at our grocery store. It's all prepackaged. I wish to hell we did have a deli, because I would never buy prepackaged anything. I'd even slice my own bologna. I'd slice my own lunch meat, all that stuff. Morning, Chris. Good to see you, bud. Speaking of bratwurst, the new beer brat Pringles are pretty good. I can't afford Pringles. I love Pringles. Pringles are like my, well, I don't know. That's a close first and second. There's a company here in the area called Great Lakes Potato Chips, and to me, they are the best potato chip I ever had. Actual potato chip. Now, for a quick snacky thing, Pringles, oh yeah. But Pringles are so damn expensive. I mean, three, almost $4 a can for Pringles now here. And Great Lakes potato chips, though it's a large bag, it's like, 6.50 bucks. But they're made right here in the state of Michigan. And flavor wise, my God, absolutely amazing. That's actually what I snack on at work a lot of times. I feel my blood sugar starting to drop, keeping up the pace that I am, and and I even told my boss, he was good with it. But I'll grab a handful of them, lay them over next to my phone, and every time I walk by the table, I'll grab a couple, pop them in. They're almost like a kettle chip, but they've got 8 or 10 different flavors, and my God, everything from sour cream and onion to barbecue to it's Michigan cherry barbecue to sea salt to um, white cheddar to honey glaze. Just, I mean, amazing flavors. Um, if we had a slicer, I'd be getting free whole pigs weekly. Wish the hell I had friends like that. Pringles are pretty reasonable at Dollar General. I don't even think our Dollar General carries Pringles. Beer chicken and beer braised steak. Yummy. That just sounds good. Potatoes don't affect my sugar at all. Good morning, Jan. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well this morning. Potato is a vegetable. Pringles at Walmart have never go over $2 a can. Yeah, but our Walmart, don't forget, our closest Walmart is, what, a 45-minute round trip? And, you go to Walmart or you spend that kind of money on gas to go to Walmart to buy a large quantity of something. And since we never have the money for a large quantity of something, um, yeah, it kind of defeats the purpose. You wind up spending almost as much in gas making the round trip as you're able to spend at the store. Um, I'm good. Yeah. Good. Thank you. What's beer chicken? Is it what some call a drunk chicken? We do that often with barbecue. Good morning, Burnaby. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good this morning. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Resting up from a short trip home to the mountains. Oh, I bet. I bet that was fun and exhausting at the same time, especially getting back down there with your extended family and stuff like that. I bet that was real fun though. Plus Bubbles Beer Chicken. Its actually name is its actual name, and yes, Busting Bubble beer is good to cook with. I pour beer, my barbecue, and on sausages and patties. It adds flavor like beer, but beer brats are okay. Now, see, I don't like beer brats. Um, I've known several people that have boiled their brats in beer before frying them up or putting them on the grill, and I don't know what type of beer. That's like they sell brats up here, and a lot of times you catch them on sale for $2, $3 for a pack of five. But the beer brats taste like crap. Now I love Italian sausage. The wife don't like Italian sausage. She wants a regular bratwurst. But I'll eat the shiitake out of some Italian sausage. Especially, I'll do the carnival thing, and I'll saute up onions and bell peppers and stuff like that, and throw it right in the hoagie bun with my Italian sausage, and I'm good. Daddy's a happy camper. But you got to catch them on sale because you can't afford $6 or $7 for a package of five of them. Stick a can of your favorite beer or lager up the chicken's butt and let it cook. stick the can up the chicken's butt. Poor chicken. I bet he never give a second thought to how he was going to get molested after he died. Dr. Pepper marinated chicken is great. Bet my wife would like that. Her and the daughter are both cherry Dr. Pepper fanatics. I think I've had I think I could probably count the number of Dr. Peppers I have drank in my entire life on one hand. Never really, never really, never really been a fan of Dr. Pepper. I mean, I can honestly say when the commercial would come on, and I'm a pepper, you're a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? And I'd say no, you suck. I've never seen people do that with soda cans. Now, turkey, I put a stick of butter, a scoop of rosemary, apple, and onion in the cavity. That sounds really good. I cook turkey 50 different ways. The wife insists on making little slits in the skin and stuffing butter and different herbs between the skin and the meat. I don't get it. That's just what she does. It's the way she was taught. Up until her, never seen anybody do that before. Best brats I ever had chili in them. Now, that sounds good. Then melt a stick of butter, mix rosemary in it, rub that under the turkey skin. Jack Daniels has been making Dr. Pepper and Coke marinade for 25 years. A turducken. Uh, nope, never done it. Never done it. I lift all the skin, put the butter rosemary mix as much as I can get. Ah. Now, see, much like ham, turkey is something else that will not get thrown out. Um, back when I was a single feller, I would I would go out and I would get the biggest ham I could get at my store, and I would cook it for Christmas. Well, Thanksgiving, I would, even though I lived alone and may only have one or two friends come over um, on Thanksgiving, if anybody showed up, I would buy like a 25-pound turkey. And I would live on turkey sandwiches, um, turkey salad. I would put turkey in my vegetables and stuff. Um, I would make turkey quesadillas. I'd make turkey tacos. I lived on turkey from Thanksgiving till Christmas. And then at Christmas time, when I made my big old ham, I lived on ham sandwiches, sliced ham, ham and eggs, stuff like that until like the middle of January. Every day. Every day it was turkey and ham. But I never got burnt out on that stuff. Like chicken, pork. There for a while, I was even burnt out on, you know, hamburger in this, hamburger in that. Always throw hamburger and pork and beans. I never got burnt out on a cheeseburger. Just too American for that. Or a big old hamburger steak. One that covers your whole plate. Like a pound and a half of hamburger. Never get burnt out on that. Skin gets potato chip crispy. Had a butcher prepare me a turducken a few years ago for Thanksgiving. I don't know. I might try it. I'll be honest about it. I'm stupid. I'll try it. I'll try anything once. Deep fried chicken skin tastes like KFC. I just did a 25-pound turkey a week ago. Oh, oh. I prefer Lee's famous recipe or Church's chicken. Yeah, I was saying earlier, Chris, I'm kind of glad my wife wants to make chicken and waffles uh, because her breading recipe that she created for her fried chicken and her chicken strips and homemade chicken nuggets and stuff like that is better than any of the store fast food fried chickens I've ever had in my life. Better than KFC, better than Church's, better than Popeyes. She worked hard to come up with the herbs and spices to go in that, but it is the best. Seriously thinking I want a smoker. Not much turkey. You'll start growing feathers. Probably. But what a way to go. I find good smoked meats these days. See, that's what I want to do is I want to find somebody who can weld, and I want to get one of the great big 55-gallon oil drums and maybe go yay far in from one end and build a wall inside it and turn that end into a smoker and then have the rest of the drum as a regular barbecue. I'm tired of having our little get-togethers in the summer where the family comes over, we have friends come over, and I've got like this little, well, Jan and Jay have both seen it. I've got this little round grill, and sometimes if you put steaks on it or you're cooking a lot of hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff, you got to do it and you knock out so many on one cook, then do another cook, and people just aren't eating at the same time. I've got a 3 foot long by 18-inch platform to cook on. I got plenty of room to cook stuff. But yeah, I agree with the smoker thing. It would be really nice to be able to smoke my own meats and stuff. My buddy Mike over here, yeah, you've seen him in a few of my videos and everything. He's got a small bullet smoker. He smokes his own bacon and everything. Here in Ohio often. I had a big ass hamburger today. Had to hold with 2 hands. It was bigger than my mouth. I loved it. It was beef burger with bacon, egg, and all that. Well, that sounds good. We are getting churches here this year. Just got several Wawa gas stations and 2 Buc-ee's. Yeah, we're seeing the Wawa commercials on TV, and it keeps saying, you're getting a Wawa soon. And I'm like, not around here, we're not. They might do it up near Kalamazoo or down by South Bend or something like that. But we're not getting a Wawa here. They put the Indian gas stations out of business and they're all owned by Indians here. So, It'd be the only gas station around. Should have seen the hamburger I made the other night. I took about 2.5 pounds of hamburger and made the wife a burger about, yay big and about that thick that hung about that far over the bun. Made the daughter one about the same size, and then made myself a hamburger steak. And it was probably about that big. I just cut it in half and put it on two hamburger buns. Now, when I used to make hamburgers up at the bar, a year ago, year and a half ago, I had this thing called a monster burger. And I mean, it was white onion, it was red onion, it was lettuce, it was tomato, it was green olives, black olives, jalapenos, two or three different kinds of cheese. Um, I mean, it sat that tall. I mean, 6 inches tall. Banana peppers, that was another thing that went on it. And I had one lady that came in twice a week and ordered two of them, one to have for lunch and one to take back to the office and have for her late afternoon snack because she worked 10, 12-hour days. So, she always ordered two of them. $25 for two hamburgers. And she was like clockwork. $55-gallon drum in the back of my truck. Go figure. Well, bacon and ham that claim to be smoked sure don't taste like it. Yeah, tell me about it. Good morning, Lady C. Good to see you, love. I hope spring's hit down home for you. Because right now, I think we're stuck in April, right in the middle of April showers. Sandwiches are so popular. It took me 4 days after it opened to get anything. And see, I've heard that. I've heard Wawa is amazing, and they make everything fresh when you order it. I just don't see us getting one around here. I make smash burgers a lot. Now, that's what we normally do is make smash burgers. But if I make smash burgers, then I want to make sliders out of them. So I'll smash the burger out on a bed of chopped onion and basically make White Castles out of them. The hamburger is named after Hamburg in Germany, I think. I don't know where the name came from, to be honest with you. That's very possible. Makes sense. Hamburger. Go search for a video by Elton Brown on making smokers from stuff around your house. I made a smoker from an old filing cabinet. Makes sense. I've heard you can make smokers out of it, just about any kind of a metal container, as long as the metal's, not extremely thin. That way you can get a good smoke going on it and not worry about, baking the bottom out of it. So, I mean, it makes sense to me. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you as well, Lady C. Mother Nature's confused. Man, I thought you said Elton John. I was thinking, what the Bucky's food is better. The barbecue's amazing. Oh, nice. Nice. I see, we love barbecue. Once again, my wife and I are always competing on who makes the best barbecue. I'll eat any kind of barbecue, but if we're going to make barbecue to go, now, if we're going to make our own barbecue, I think hers is better than mine, but I'll never tell her that. Now, the stuff that Jan and Jay bring us from Tennessee when they come to visit, that stuff's amazeballs, and it goes great on everything from steak to hot dogs to hamburgers. That stuff is amazing. I even dip my french fries in it. It's so good. Either it's raining or it's sunshiny with weird temperatures. We're not getting much sunshiny. Every once in a great blue moon, we'll see sun, but for the most part, yeah, it's just rain and chilly here. Cold and damp. Nothing but candle in the wind there. Spring in Texas is a guessing game. I remember that. Cherry cola pulled pork is my favorite. We bought a case of the barbecue sauce since we only had 3 jars left. Yeah, we just used the last of what you brought us last year. We've been harboring that stuff. We've been trying to save it best we can, and we just used the last of it. So, yeah. Elton John reference. Been using the white Alabama barbecue sauce lately. White Alabama barbecue sauce. Never heard of that. Sounds interesting, though. Sounds very interesting. Hey, give me a quick second, guys. I'm going to make a run to the, you know, coffee's just about gone. It's so what? I've been on coffee now for 7 hours. Just about caffeined out. I'll be back. She lives her life like a candle in the wind. Never knowing. Goodbye, Norma Jean. Well, I never knew you. How far behind are we here? Oh, it says we are right on the money. How many peeps in the chat? Well, there was 11. Now it's showing 9. It's a touch sweeter and has the perfect amount of bite. Huh. Start using General Tso sauce as barbecue. Huh. Says 10. Alabama is famous for white barbecue sauce. Big Bob Gibson's is probably the most famous. Okay, I'm going to donate $10 to a dollar for all 10 people. Thanks, Ben. I really appreciate it, man. It definitely keeps us afloat since we're not monetized on here. And God knows when we'll ever get monetized on here. If we'll ever get monetized on here. I am thinking about starting a second channel up for, our paranormal stuff. Keep the paranormal stuff off here and put it over on Paranormal Papa. That's the name that Trevor and Riley from What Goes Bump in the Night gave me 2 years ago. So I'm thinking about starting, you know, a Paranormal Papa channel. So we'll try to get that one monetized. Of course, we are still trying to go mainstream. Tonight is that big home investigation for hometown hauntings. A new feature where we're actually doing people's homes, not doing cemeteries and stuff like that. Um, just little teeny tiny hometowns in northern Indiana and Michigan. If we can, get further out than that, then we'll start doing them in other locations as well. But based on the conversation I've been having with certain television groups, they want us to increase our views. They want us to get better equipment. They want us to start doing more active investigations and, resubmit some of those videos for them, and they will consider giving us a shot. So I've even got a friend of ours from out in the Southwest, um, very mandatory friend of ours, hint hint, that is currently working on building us a website. So we'll see what happens. Okay. We have really gotten into Asian seasoning the past month or two. My daughter uses a lot of Asian seasoning. She loves, she'll take like regular ramen noodles, chicken, beef, shrimp, or she'll buy these, what are they called? Uwa noodles, just plain rice noodles. And she'll mix her own seasonings up in there. And uh, between her and her mom doing their little kitchen creations, I don't know who's better. I think the wife's better with barbecue sauces and fried chicken and stuff like that, and the daughter is really good. She has an eye for seasoning, especially to make anything taste Asian. So, I and I'm just that pizza guy. I'm just that pizza guy. I want a breakfast pizza. Go wake up dad. I want a pizza for lunch. Go see if dad's busy. I'm just the pizza guy. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that, bud. Well, I would offer to give you these laptops. I replace them, but with taxes, Cal, this $25 server, $600. I ain't replacing the shit for a year, so I don't blame you. I don't blame you. That's why I don't replace anything because I can't afford to. You know, we're looking at another vehicle. One of the wife's upper supervisor's husband has got a newer um, Ford Expedition. Um, yeah, Expedition. That he's willing to sell us. That way she won't have to borrow vehicles anymore to get back and forth to work. Um, what do you do? You know, we still got that 700 some odd dollar house payment, car payment, utilities, food. I don't even want to think about that. I don't want to think about any of it. Let's change the subject. Well, I would have to replace the drives to prevent the possibility of stuff that no one needs to be left in. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And it's okay. Some things I test for Microsoft and forbidden to let anyone else see. You don't forget who you're talking to. I wouldn't understand it if it was laid out in front of me with step by step directions on what it is. I mean, you know, don't forget you're dealing with a complete and total dirt to dirt, which is why I've been talking to mandatory about getting this website set up and everything. That way, people can easily access us. The only problem is the site that he's using to build the website. Uh, Geez, criminy. The site that he's using to build the website won't let you link videos to the website. I think he's trying to figure out a way to do it so we can't even download our videos and put them on the site. It don't let you. It's nothing but a text and picture site. So yeah, we can't even like link live phone number links and stuff um, to it. It don't let any kind of a linking process work. So he's trying, and he's getting further than I ever did because I don't understand it. Part of the fun of being a technotard is you don't have to claim stupidity on how something works or doesn't work. You can prove stupidity, how on the knowledge of how something works and doesn't work. If it wasn't for my daughter, I wouldn't even understand how to use my phone because every time I have to upgrade, it's gone 5 levels up from where my last one was because I don't throw things away until I absolutely have to. I used, where's it at? Oh, it's sitting over here. Finally quit working. That phone that I used to have. They had come out with 3 new models of that phone before mine ever died. I had the first one made. The wife had the third one made. Hers died after 2 years. Mine held on for 5. I just keep working with them until they won't even turn on anymore. This one here, first real new phone I've had, new phone in 11 years. I've always gotten cheap cheap $35 phones or refurbished phones or whatever. That's the first new straight from the factory. And I mean, it was nothing spectacular. It was 110 bucks. It's an older model Galaxy, but it still works. Or I'm sorry, not a Galaxy, a Motorola. Still protecting their stuff. Part of the deal. I have been too busy to do testing in a while, trying to make entertainment servers aside. I'm debating on going to Microsoft Server 2022-2025 as opposed to Windows 10 or 11. Huh, interesting. I started like middle of last week, instead of just jamming music while I'm at work, I started listening to podcasts on Pandora. And I found a group of guys on Pandora called Paranormal Minds. Now, they're also on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Amazon. But they've been around for a little while. And not only do they do podcasts, but they teach you how to build a lot of your own equipment so you don't spend exuberant amounts of money um, going out and buying equipment that only costs like $4 or $5 to build. Um, I actually, I've been after a paranormal pump for a long time because we go out on these investigations and whatever's there is attacking the batteries in our equipment um, to pull energy to be able to communicate. A paranormal pump has a motor in it with a magnet on the motor, and as it spins at 10,000 revs a minute, it's emitting EM energy. So, according to theory, um, spirits can feed off of that energy and be able to communicate clear. I was at work yesterday morning and I was listening to them, and they were talking about being on YouTube. So of course, when I got home, I jumped on the platform and I looked them up, and I went down about 6 months or so back in their podcast playlist, and they had instructions on how to build a REM pod. And then a couple months previous to that, they had instructions on how to build your own. No suspected spam. I don't want to talk to you. Um, they had instructions on how to build a pump. So I'm in the process now of, trying to find. I know I've got most of the stuff around the house, um, but I'm thinking very seriously about using this box and then mounting the battery pack on the bottom of it. Now, once again, according to theory, if you have the motor emitting EM energy, they'll leave the batteries and stuff alone because they're a weaker source of energy. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I need a small motor, and I have everything else. I think I've got a small motor in the junk drawer out in the kitchen. I gotta go look. But right now, I'm so busy working on my outfit for the Ren Fair and trying to get my some kind of a shelter built that's going to be easy to transport on top of a car. Um, I was going to go with a tent, but who the hell can afford canvas plus 45-minute round trip to Walmart to buy canvas? Um, do, what you got to do, I guess. Um, Exploring servers 2022 on one of those two laptops. I went to college for server stuff, but I don't remember much. It's amazing how that works. I never went to college to learn how to do nothing. I went to, oh God, what's her blood sugar? She had problems with blood sugar all night long. Well, down to 44. 3 hours ago, that stuff was sky high. 250. Now it's down to 44. Went down, went up a couple times, went up about 50 points, then bottomed out. 5 minutes after I got out of bed this morning, my alarm went off. And it showed her blood sugar down at 42. So I had to go grab her some candy, go in and wake her up. She ate the candy. Her blood sugar started to go back up, and all of a sudden, bottomed out again. All within like a 30-minute period. Scared the hell out of me and her mom because I had to wake her mom up. She's been sick since last Tuesday. Went to the hospital on Wednesday. They said it was bronchitis. Thursday and Friday, she got even sicker, started having other symptoms. So Friday night, she went back to the hospital again. They're saying, oh, well, here's this medicine, this medicine, this medicine, this medicine, this medicine. Made her feel great while she was laying in the hospital till almost midnight. And then they wrote her prescriptions that couldn't even be filled till today. So after feeling great on Friday night, she has felt like stomped crap for the last 2 days. And, I'm sure she's, already phoned them this morning because the clinic here in town that has pharmacy, since they closed down our other pharmacy here in town, the clinic's probably getting her prescription filled right now while she's waiting on a ride to take her out of town to get the medicine to make herself feel good again. I'm hovering at 132. That's actually really good. That's really good. She usually hovers right around somewhere between 120 and 130. But her blood sugar when she sleeps, man, that's the hard thing. It either goes up to almost 300 while she's asleep, or goes down below 50. You never know night for night. But when her blood sugar bottomed the second time this morning, her mom took in more candy, and then she took in a peanut butter sandwich. Then she took in some apple juice, and that's what brought her up to that 250 mark, and now she's going down again. And the kid's sitting in here doing her schoolwork in the living room right now. She's not even doing anything that should make her sugar drop that fast. I mean, if she was out running a marathon, I could see her blood sugar dropping fast. But sitting here doing her schoolwork, it should, you know, peter down. I did that for about 4 months. Then the doctor changed the meds around and gave me sliding schedule of daytime doses. She has a pump on her. She has a pump. So it's supposed to regulate and inject her itself. She still has to, when she eats, she has to put in her correct dose and it injects her for when she's eating something at a mealtime. But through the day, it's supposed to automatically take care of that itself. And so she's on no meds except the insulin that she used to shoot herself with, but now her pumps into her. I do not like these Dexcom pumps for diabetics. It will not, my phone, it will not stay connected to my device. I have to refresh it multiple times a day because just all of a sudden I'll look at my phone and I haven't got a reading from her in an hour, 2 hours. And I'm constantly throwing a fit about this because if that damn thing is losing contact with me and the wife's phones, what happens if her blood sugar bottoms out in the middle of the night? She could go into a coma while she's asleep. She could die. And nobody can figure out why our phones won't stay connected to it because they're both on the list. Even though my phone pops a warning up once in a while saying, we are currently working with your carrier for, what is it? Basically saying that it's going to make the Dexcom app a main app. Why is my phone on the list if it's not a proven app that works properly on my device? That's what I do. Breathing uses sugar. Yeah, I use the insulin pens. It ain't the pump. It is the monitor. Yes, it sucks. Some phones got bumped off the list for some reason about a year back. Ah, interesting. See, they didn't tell us that because a lot of the phones are still showing on the lists. And when they gave them the list, when all this first happened back in October, and they gave the wife and daughter the list, they told them then that not all phones were covered. But you don't know until you try to program your phone in which ones are still covered or not. Good morning, David. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. My Galaxy 13 works on it. Yeah, it's messed up. It is messed up. You're trying to monitor your child, you're trying to keep them safe and keep them healthy, and not even our modern equipment um, does what it's supposed to do. Good citizen, good morning. Hope you're doing well this morning. I just bought a walk. Dude, I would love to have a walk. as much as the wife stir fries and stuff like that, chicken and broccoli, chicken and mushrooms, chow mains, different different things like that. I seen a wok one time, loved it. It had a very shallow base to it, probably only inch and a half, and the wok come way out to about 18 inches, 20 inches, something like that at the top. But it sat right over the element, the eye guard on a gas stove. And, you know, I wish to hell I would have bought that thing when I seen it. Because as much as she stir fries, yeah. Oh yeah, ours is that one there was 5 or 6 inches deep at least. But I mean, the base that sat on, that was connected to the bottom of it, that sat over the element, was probably only an inch and a half tall. That way it got all that nice heat that hit the bottom of it closer to the flame. But yeah, it came way up like that. So I mean, it was probably, I would say, total all in all about that deep, about 6 inches or so, six and a half. Uh, but yeah, I wished the hell I would have bought that thing when I seen it, because we probably used, I mean, already used the hell out of it. Now I need to figure out how to use it and how this thing is 5 6 inches deep, sits on a burner. I don't want electric stuff. Yeah, I don't. I've seen electric walks. They just don't look. I don't know. They just don't seem like. I want that open fire down there. Years and years and years ago, when my grandma was still alive, she bought me one of those indoor grills, indoor smokeless grill. Cook your food right on your tabletop or your countertop or whatever. And don't get me wrong, it made great hamburgers. I would take a boneless, skinless chicken breast, I'd pound it out flat, and I would grill a chicken sandwich on top of it. It was great. It was great being a plug-in electrical grill. It's just not as good as cooking on open fire. I just didn't taste the same. I didn't want Teflon or shit like that. 2 Christmases back, I got a large air fryer from my youngest. Now, see, we have an air fryer out here. Every once in a great blue moon, when we don't have oil in the house, we'll use it to make French fries or something like that. I think the wife's made a chicken in it one time. Of course, we had to keep stopping it and manually turning the chicken because the chicken was so big, it was catching on the top of the air fryer and stuff. So it wouldn't turn properly. So yeah, we had to, keep manually turning the chicken. But it probably would have cooked better if it was able to turn freely like it's supposed to. But we'd get it cooking for 5 or 10 minutes on one side, and we'd slightly turn it a notch or two and let it cook 5 or 10 minutes, and turn a notch or two, and just keep doing that until it finally cooked all the way through. I think she finally got tired of turning it, and just pulled it out, and smothered it in butter and stuck it in the oven. I don't blame her. It's sitting right over there, new in the box. This thing has two separate fryer units on it. Oh, that's cool. That's all right, Tony. Just leave it sitting there in the box, brand new. Give it, what, 3, 4 years, whatever, and give it to one of your other daughters for Christmas. Um, after out of sight, out of mind. Um, just rewrap it back up here in about 3 years and give it to one of your other daughters for a Christmas present. My God, Dad went out and got us an air fryer. He's the best dad in the world. I think I'll take it to my youngest the next trip. Give it to her. She uses one. There you go. Jay got an air fryer. His 25-year gift from FedEx. We really like it. Air fryers are nice. Odds are that cooking at the cabin will be outdoors as much as weather permits. Well, there's no law saying you can't build a real nice awning or a covered front porch on the cabin or something where you can put your gas grill or your charcoal grill or whatever you prefer to use and cook out there year round. That's what the old man used to do. He'd get in the mood for a grilled hamburger or something on the grill in January or February, and he'd go out and uncover the grill and open the garage door about yay far, and he'd cook right there in the garage. Middle of winter, be out there grilling burgers or something on the grill. You're gonna be a grandpa again. Congratulations, bud. Winters, I figure to cook on the potbelly stove. That sounds good too. At least there's still open fire involved. Tony gonna be a grandpa again. I'm in no hurry to be a grandpa again. I got oh God, what, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11 grandkids. I'm in no rush. They can take their time. Let's see this is why I have to take the paranormal thing to the professional level is so I can afford to leave something behind because right now this in here is all there is to leave behind. And quite honestly, there's nothing in here anybody be interested in because none of my kids reenact and none of them ghost hunt. So, yeah. But maybe if they can look back on TV and find some of Grandpa's old TV episodes where I'm out doing a hunt, maybe one of them will take an interest in it. So then I'll have someone to leave all my equipment to. Oh hell, dude, grandkids are great. You can do all the shit you would have done with the kids, but didn't. as not to spoil them. Oh, I know. I, I absolutely agree with you. You know, having grandkids is amazing because you can spoil the out of them and then send them home. You know, I don't get to do the sugaring them up because they all live so far away. You know, I'm working on getting at least, my two oldest grandsons this summer. When summer break starts to give mom and dad a break, and I have a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old running around the house for a while with the 16-year-old aunt, and maybe they can find some kind of shenanigans to get into. But then I can zing them up on sugar and stuff when the trip is over with and send them back home. Higher than a mofo, which is awesome. I await that phone call from my son and my daughter-in-law. What the hell did you do to them? They haven't stopped talking and running around since they came home. I don't know. Got no clue. I didn't do nothing. Reenacting strikes me as something that many don't get into until they're a bit older. Cocaine and whiskey. And I've noticed that too, Tony, in the years that I've reenacted. When I was a young man in my 20s and going out and doing it, I seen a lot of parents and grandparents, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and they had the small kids, the preteens or early teens, grandkids or children out there with them. Then as the kids got closer to 16, 17 years old, they vanished. They didn't go back to reenactments anymore. And then as I grew older, I seen those kids again in their 20s, early 30s, with kids of their own, taking them out. And they would always say, I loved my upbringing out here. But when more important things came along, aka girls and boys, cars, parties, high school, they didn't want to do it anymore. So yeah, it's a cycle. It's like you see them when they're really little, then they vanish in their teenage years, and then they come back in their early adult years. I had little interest in U.S. history when I was like 18 to 28 ish. Really got into it with my awakening. Makes sense. I've always stayed interested in it. Give me any excuse, you know, to put on funny clothes and go out and entertain people. That's my thing, I guess. Give me just give me any excuse. It was kind of a why did the founding fathers thing that we should have the right to have firearms. Makes sense. Well, let me see here. Oh, yeah, 10 minutes till 10, 5 people watching. We lost a few people somewhere. School don't teach that part of it. School don't teach anything anymore that's got to do with guns, cannons, weapons of any kind, war of any kind, battles, slavery, Reconstruction. The American Revolution. Oh no, I take that back, they spend about 2 days on the American Revolution and 2 days on the Civil War. Less than an entire class on the War of 1812. Less than 2 days on World War One, less than 2 days on World War Two, less than 2 days on Korea, less than 2 days on Vietnam. They don't even spend an entire class on the World Trade Center or the Middle East. They talk about geography, the geography of the land, but they don't discuss the Native Americans that lived there or any of the Indian wars. My wife works for a local Native American tribe, and my daughter didn't even know who Chief Pokagon was with the Pokagon Potawatomi. The school didn't teach Jack Russell about it. She didn't know nothing about it. We were talking about going to the cemetery where he was buried at, and she's like, "Who's that?" He's the name behind Pokagon, Michigan, where the Pokagon Potawatomi reservation's at. What'd he do? What'd they teach you in school? I mean, besides sleeping and talking on your phone. Pretty much what we do in class. Teacher talks on her phone. We talk on ours. Hell, fifth grade, it was common to see 3-6 guns standing in the corner of the classroom from kids that were hunting before class or planning to go after school. When I was in high school, it was not uncommon for just about every pickup truck in the parking lot to have guns in the back window. Now you do that, and before you even get in the building, you're surrounded by 15 cop cars, and they're all pointing their guns at you, thinking that you got some serious nefarious crap planned. Even though back in the 70s and 80s, that kind of thing didn't even occur. But oh yeah, my God, I bet I bet out of the 125 cars in the parking lot at the high school out in the middle of BFE that I went to school at, it wasn't it wasn't beyond the realm of possibility for there to be at least 50 guns out in that parking lot. Those two guns are standing ones. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how times have changed. You don't, you just don't see that stuff anymore. Oh hell, I froze up. Glenfield 60 and a Savage 67. Uh, wow. Can you hear me? Or did audio freeze up too? Wow. Just did your video freeze up? Am I like am I still looking down on your video, or am I actually moving around? That's weird. Oh well, couldn't have picked a better time to do it. 5 minutes left. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't get it. Oh well, I'm still here. I'm still talking. That's just weird. But yeah, like I said, tonight we have that big investigation. Mark will be joining. Um, I didn't look at you anyway, so no, no biggie. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to look at me either. Um, Mark will be coming out and joining us for this big home investigation tonight. Our very first entry into hometown hauntings. Um, had a chance to talk to the girl that owns the house the other day. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. What we what we do know is that the land used to be native land, and the chief of that group was completely and totally against white settlers in the area. And supposedly there was a huge battle in that area, huge for that area. Um, and he was killed and buried somewhere in the woods, where her security camera in the front of the house is picking up ghostly images in the field directly across the street from her property. There's a huge, very thick woods not very far into that field. So we're going on the possibility of supposedly, according to legend, he cursed the land. So said that if something to the effect of the people who the whites who settled there would never forget the former tenants, I guess is the best way to put it. So we'll see what happens with this. No, not like that. I have to look at the keyboard to type as bad as I manage. If I don't look well, it's always Whitey. Yeah, go figure. Go figure. Which, I mean, it's really kind of ironic because I've been working on a video about native cursed lands um, here in America, places that had well known curses laid on the land, and towns have been built or whatever, and there have been, one really bad thing after another crop up um, through history, coming towards modern times. So who knows? Who knows? All I know is that I'm going to fit in really, really good at this investigation. His name was Chief Shavehead. Chief Shavehead. So yeah, I'm going to fit in really, um, really good. I will be Chief Shiny Dome. Um, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's always Whitey. Damn Whitey. Shavehead, like Baldy Locks. Yeah, yeah. His name was Chief Shavehead. He was basically he was a war chief. He was a chief of that group and a very esteemed warrior. And he that area of central South Central Michigan was um, basically it was the doorway to the western frontier during the War of 1812. Now, as many of you know, we had a couple of 1812 forts here in Michigan that changed hand between American force and British forces multiple times, and so. But they seen this area of southern Michigan, almost into Indiana, as the doorway to the western frontier. And that area, Jones, Michigan, there was actually a couple of British, American, and native skirmishes, but no one knows. And I'm air quoting right now. I know you can't see that because the screen is frozen, but I'm air quoting. No one knows exactly where those battlefields were. So, just like they don't know, air quotes again, where Chief Shavehead is buried. So, thanks to Mark for going out and doing um, the historical research on what we could potentially be getting ourselves into. Um, but you guys are going to see an investigation like you've never seen before. Um, I will work on that this week. I will probably post it for Friday or Saturday evening. Something tells me it's going to take me that long to go through all the data and stuff. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Of course, my beautiful wife will be running the camera for us. That way, you're going to be getting Mark and I both um, doing the investigation and not Mark half the time and me half the time because I'm carrying the camera around. So, well, it looks like you're scalped already, so I don't know what I might find amusing. You just never know with us, bud. You just never know with us. But that's going to be it for this morning. It is after 10 o'clock. It is time for me to take my one eye out and start working on my my Viking shirt for the fair here in 11 days. Um, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pull it off, but I'll figure something out. But speaking of, I desperately need a haircut. You too, Jan. Have a great day. Tony, have a good day. Whoever else is, it's all about 8 inches long at the moment. You got this whole Charles Ingalls thing going. You got this Michael Landon 1970s kind of hair thing going there. Works for me. But you guys all have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. And we'll catch y'all. Not there just yet, but close. Oh, man, I bet that's funny. All right, y'all. Have a good day. We'll talk to y'all later.